Testing, testing. KG4IUQ. Whoa. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Ain't no more.
All right, sounds like he's treed. CQ, the old friend's net. This is WA4LLR, Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina, calling CQ the old friend's net. This net meets 3 times weekly on this frequency, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m., Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. The net's conducted in the Amplitude Modulation mode, carried out in the roundtable format. So we'll take a list of check-ins and progress with the net. So, stations wishing to check into the old friend's net, give WA4LLR a call and come now.
N4LQ.
WB4NKL.
K1VVC.
WN4PFI.
WA7. WB4ARK. K4JAL. KJ4YEV. KZ4 Bravo.
Okay, we had a couple of doubles. What I have so far is in 4LQ, WB4NKL, and I think it was IUQ that came in with Cliff, but I can be corrected on that one. K1VVC, WN4PFI. I think it was WA7PIA. I've got a question mark by that one. I'll need a correction. WB4ARK, K4JAL, KJ4YEV, KZ4B, and W4MEC. Now, who did I miss?
November Delta.
Okay, recognizing Bruce. Any others? Okay, let me get a correction on the W7 call. The W7, would you come back one more time?
Surely. Call is WA7 Delta India Alpha, Whiskey Alpha 7, flag item Ava.
QSL, Whiskey Alpha 7 Delta India Alpha. Very good. Alrighty, let me go down the list one more time. N4LQ, WB4NKL, KG4IUQ, K1VVC, WN4PFI, WA7DIA, WB4ARK, K4JAL, KJ4YEV, KZ4B, W4MEC, N4WD. Did I miss anyone? Okay, sounds like we've got a list for the moment. Good afternoon to everybody. Again, my name's Dave. I'm in Burnsville, North Carolina. We have 49 degrees, been low overcast all day long. It's starting to break up a little, I think. But it's been a cool, kind of dreary day up here in Yancey County. Running the Johnson 500, receiving on the HRO 50T1, and feeding the antenna directly with coax. A dipole at about 50 feet. So let's go down to the city of Pleasant Living. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
Okay, WA4LLR is N4LQ. Steve in Shelby, North Carolina, just having a good time here. Been getting a lot of birthday wishes, and the phone kept ringing, and just got off the phone with the sister. She lives over in Charleston, South Carolina. So got that going on, running the Sun SDR right now, live streaming the net as usual when possible. We got about 1/10 of an inch of rain yesterday evening and a little rumble of thunder, and that was welcome, and it actually made the grass turn green overnight. So things are looking up. Over to Cliff, WB4NKL, N4LQ.
N4LQ, it's WB4NKL. Okay, Steve. Good deal. It's about 60 here, and it's kind of cool if you're just out not doing anything. A little breeze and overcast. Had a ½ inch of rain here yesterday, so that sort of settled the dust down. First measurable rain, I guess, since we've had since the hurricane. Running a DX60 here with a Hunter Bandit amplifier. I was trying out the VFO and the amplifier that belonged to Norm W7IUC. My DX60, but the accessories are Norm's. So send it on around. I'm not sure if I was to turn it to IUQ or John. I missed that. Whoever's next, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Cliff. This is Mark, KG4IUQ. I'm in Shelby, and I'm running my multi-LMAC AF68 with the PMR8 receiver. It's been a few weeks since I've been on this net, and it's a pleasure to be here. I went to church this morning, me and my wife, and I had a good time. I was able to play a guitar that was made for me by William Ray Ledford of Lawndale, North Carolina. He made it in 1997. I'm very happy about that guitar. I'm very proud of it because he made it. He made about 300 or 400 guitars over in Lawndale years ago. It's kind of cool here, and it's a good time for me because I'm off work for about 9 days. I've been working 10 hours a day most of the time for several months. I'm going to turn it over now to John, K1VVC in the net. This is KG4IUQ.
Yeah, very good, Mark. KG4IUQ. This is John, K1VVC in Greer, South Carolina. And let's see, I just got a message here, a text from Mir, WF2U, who's in a rehab facility now after having both his knees replaced last week. I went up to visit him yesterday. It's in Tryon, and I brought him one of those little Chinese ATS radios. I don't remember, a little digital radio, and he just said to me there's a little bit too much noise. But he's copying on your streaming thing in the rehab facility. Let me see what else he said. I think he's doing really good. We had a nice visit yesterday, and I think it's terrific what he's doing. So yeah, he's streaming on your system there, Steve. So everybody can say hey to Mir. Let me turn it over to Doug. WN4PFI from K1VVC.
K1VVC. This is WN4PFI. Okay. Very good, John. I got a good copy on, I think, on everyone. 54 degrees here in Suches. We did have a little bit of rain yesterday evening, about 0.05 of an inch, and the leaves have come down. So my wife and I we don't rake those. I don't have a leaf collector, but we'll be cutting those up tomorrow, getting them off the decks and so forth. And and we'll be doing that a few more times too. But I'm copying everybody just fine. K7DIA, I've not talked to you, maybe the rest of the guys have. I think your name is, I looked you up. If you go by Jack, and you're still in Warner Robins, you got a good signal here in Suches. So go ahead, Jack, WA7DIA, this is WN4PFI.
WN4PFI in the old Friends Net, WA7DIA. Well, good afternoon, everybody. And yes, my name is Jack, located in Warner Robins, Georgia. It has been a few years since I checked into this net. I think it was 2019 was the last time I checked in. I've tried a couple of times and greeted with poor propagation and noisy bands and things like that. And I can't do the net at 9 in the mornings and at 4 in the afternoons on Sundays, but at 6 o'clock it seems to be coming in good, so I'll try to check in for more often. Running an ART13 C348, about 100 watts up to the diode. And nice weather in Warner Robins today, cool, partly cloudy, but no rain, very dry. Anyway, I turn it to WB4ARK, and I apologize because I remember the call, but I just don't remember the name. Go ahead.
WA7DIA, WB4ARK, Lake Wylie, South Carolina, just south of Charlotte. And the name here is Buddy. I'm also running an ART-13. And we had a small amount of rain, 0.26 inches overnight, mostly last night. And so it's been rather cool and overcast all day here. No sun to speak of today. Just a very cool and breezy day. So it looks like fall is definitely getting here. Well, I think we will turn it to we'll turn it to Jimmy. We're on the soon-to-be Jimmy's transmitter, and I guess it will not be this coming week, but it will be the next week that we will have our luncheon, and that's when the handoff will take place. So, over to K4JAL. This is WB4ARK.
WB4ARK, K4JAL. Well, I've got the croup today, but other than that, things are good. I'm running the Viking 2 and R390A, and feeling good about it. Buddy, when it gets back around to you, I understand ART-13 requires either a carbon or a dynamic mic, neither of which I have. So if you confirm that, and if anybody out there's got a good mic they want to get rid of or work on a... I'd appreciate it if you'd let me know. I hadn't got a dog's idea where it goes. I was listening into dummy load there until after the net got started and it wasn't working too well. It might be N4WD, but I ain't sure. K4JAL.
Goes to YEV.
K4JAL on the net, KJ4YEV. Good conditions tonight, guys. Good strong signals and low noise. It looks like we're returning to the good old wintertime conditions, and I can't say I'm sorry to see that. It's been kind of... The power was out. The noise is coming from is the power grid, I think. But I got on emergency power, and I couldn't believe how quiet it was. Well, I'm not going to keep it. It goes to John, KZ4B, so John, KJ4YEV.
Very good, KJ4YEV in the group KZ4B, fine business. I wanted to make a comment to Jimmy. I've got an ART-13 that works great with an amplified D104 crystal mic. So if you've got a D104 amplified, I know it'll work, and you have the selector in the dynamic position. It won't work in the carbon position. And it might be that you can use an unamplified, but I think you probably need the gain of the amplified mic. Enough said on that. We got through our surgery on Wednesday, and things are healing up nicely, and hopefully we'll be ready to tackle chicken livers at the beginning of the month. We'll see how things go. By the way, you introduced me beautifully there. So I'm at Lake Norman and running a T150, driving a AL82 Ameritron amplifier, feeding a resonant 80-meter antenna at the end of about 150 feet of coax or longer. And the big news here is that in the last few days I've been able to clear out the garage to the degree I'm trying to excavate my BTA 1R1 broadcast transmitter It's not ready to go, but I need to get at it in order to put the finishing touches on it and get that sucker on the air. Back when the weather was nice, I was able to put in a manual selector switch at the bottom of my tower so I can divert the same resonant 80 meter antenna I'm talking on to the broadcast transmitter. So we're getting there slowly but surely. So I can never predict. It always takes 5 or 10 times longer to do anything than I think it will. So maybe I'll be on the air by the end of the winter, if a miracle happens. So on that note, I think it goes to Charlie. Over to you. W4MEC in the group, KZ4 Bravo, over.
Okay, John, KZ4VW4MEC. Real good. Afternoon, everybody. Everybody's coming in. Hello to Jack. Yeah, it's been a long time. Still waiting for Gary to come up here and deliver that radio direction finder and pick up his radio stuff. So maybe I'll get him to come up here in a couple of weeks or so. Who knows? But anyway. Not a whole lot going on around here. We only got about 5 minutes of rain yesterday. Almost not enough to settle the dust or even get under the trees very wet. But we're still very damp. Our road has never dusted up. I was mentioning that the other day. It's still very damp. And you go down it and it'll raise a bit of dust. So but the rain did help, I guess. It's been like a month that we had nothing. Was working on my ART13, my 28-volt power cable. I'm replacing what I was using. I got to looking at it, and it's stranded number 10, about 5 feet long from the power supply battery to the dynamotor. And I'm replacing it with some stranded number 6 that I've got. I'm going to try that and see if that cures the double-click thing with the voltage droop. And I found a really nice transformer for my AC supply. So I've got the 400 volts, I've got the 28, and now I've got the 1200. So all I got to do is get several things that I need to fix for other people off the darn bench so I can work on some of my stuff. So hopefully maybe we can get that done, and if this doesn't cure the double click on the antenna relay with the voltage droop with the bigger cable, then we'll definitely expedite the AC supply and keep that ART13 from having to suffer that dip there. All right, so much for that, and down to Bruce in 4WD, W4MEC.
Okay, W4MEC in 4WD. Well, glad to hear everyone today. The only one I had just a little problem with was YEV, but he was copyable. I got a little buzzing noise going on in the neighborhood today. 69 degrees, cloudy. We got 0.05 inches of rain yesterday. I think, like Steve said, just enough to make the grass turn green. Then it's supposed to be up in the 80s midweek, so who knows? Leaves are falling off the trees, though. My patio says they are. It's covered with them every morning and every afternoon after I clean them off. Cliff, on the DX100, if you've got a couple of those sockets for the 500 ceramic sockets, email me and let me know what you want for them, and I need to, I don't want to put that thing on the air with those blackened pins on those sockets. Even though I burnished them, I just don't trust them since they've been so hot. Hope everyone, and if Mayor's listening, hello, Mayor. Hope you get home pretty soon there. Back to you, Dave. WA4LLR in 4WD.
All right, Bruce, fine business. Let me take a quick standby. Do we have any other check-ins? Come now.
W4DCS.
All righty, recognizing W4DCS. Any others? Okay, Doug, go ahead and tell us something and turn it back to me. W4DCS, WA4LLR.
Yeah, okay, Dave. W4DCS, Winston-Salem. I'm on a DX100, and yeah, I got tied up with dinner, so I didn't get down here in time to check in. Mir, hope you're doing better. I enjoyed the photo with the dog. That was pretty sweet. Well, dogs definitely are our best friends, so. Yeah, not too much to tell here, Dave, so I'll turn it back to you and we'll sit here and listen. I'm copying everybody okay, not the best on everybody, but making it in here okay. WA4LLR, W4DCS.
All righty, one more quick standby. Any other stations? Come now. W4DCS and the old friends, WA4LLR. All right, real good. DX100 sounds good, Dub. Bruce, fine business on 69 and cloudy. You're 20 degrees warmer than we are. Charlie, we had about the same amount of rain, about 5 minutes worth. I don't think it even registered in the rain gauge. Today's the 1 month anniversary of the hurricane, so I'm thankful that it's a month behind us. John, glad to hear you're healing up from the surgery, and if you're able to be cleaning out the garage, then you must be doing really good. And the T150 sounds good as always. And yes, Al, it was pretty quiet when the power grid was down, for sure. That would have been the time to do some VLF listening for spherics and whistlers and all those things. Jimmy, the Viking 2 sounds good. Sorry that you're somewhat, as the old timers used to say, clabbered up a little bit, but I'm sure you'll pull out of that soon. Buddy, the soon-to-be Jimmy ART sounds good. And Jack, you're sounding good from Warner Robins on your ART-13. Good heck. Decline this call. Okay. You're sounding good. Everybody is sounding good. Everybody's got the estimator up next to the peg. Really good band conditions. And Mir, good afternoon, good evening to you. Love the picture of you and the dog. And glad you got the surgery behind you and the rehab well underway. Looking forward to hearing you on the air and seeing you soon at one of the luncheons. Mark, congrats on the custom guitar. Way to go. I bet that thing sounds good. AF68's doing a good job. And Cliff, the DX60 Hunter combination sounds really good. Norm will really enjoy that. Happy birthday, Steve. And hope it was a good one. Well, space weather today, sunspot. Index is 238 and the K index is 2.67. Few items from this day in history. On this day in 1978, Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for the peace treaty between Egypt and Israel. On this day in 1858, Teddy Roosevelt was born. Let's see here. Well, I know there's more than that. On this day in 1968, physicist Leith Meitner, the lady whose research, along with that of Otto Hahn and Fred Strassmann, led to the discovery of nuclear fission, passed away in Cambridge, England. On this day in 1961, the first Saturn rocket was successfully launched. And And on this day in 1492, Chris Columbus made it to Cuba. So that's enough from this day in history. Not a whole lot going on here. Had a good weekend, good church service this morning, so we've just been taking it easy this afternoon. So back down to you, Steve. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
All right, Dave, WA4LLR, N4LQ. Well, I think nuclear fission is probably pretty effective way to fish, but the fish are not edible, so I wouldn't bother with it. Let's see. Cliff DX60 sounds great, along with the Hunter Bandit. And hello to Mir. And glad you can pick us up there in the rehab place. And we're anxious to get you back on the air. And John, good on your surgery. Sounds like you're talking pretty good, actually. I'm surprised. I guess you're waiting on your teeth, but I hope everything came out okay, as they say. And yeah, the luncheon's next week, Thursday, at the Golden Corral. Thursday at 11:30 or so. So anyway, I guess everything's happening at once here. My phone's been ringing off the hook. So I'll just go ahead and turn it on over to Cliff, WB4NKL, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4NKL. Okay, Steve. Say hello to Mir. He's got a way to listen, and I enjoyed the picture with the dog. And John, glad the surgery went well, and sounds like you're recovering nicely. Jimmy, I think everybody I know runs a powered D104 with ART13s. That's what I run on mine, and they seem like they need a little bit of extra gain that the powered mic gives to them. So you probably got one of them, or can lay your hands on one. And Bruce, I'm gonna have to look at it, the DX60 or DX100, and see which. I think they're the solid ceramic sockets. It's not the one with the metal saddle plate, I don't think. But I'll look and see. But I think I've got some of each, and you're welcome to them, no charge. If you make it, I can ship them, or if you can make it, decide to come to Lawrenceville, I can bring them. So however you want to handle that. Let's see. I'll send it on to on down the road to Mark, KG4IUQ, WB4NKL.
Thank you very much, Cliff. You're sounding good there. Everybody's sounding good, but I did have one issue. Might have been on my end. I'm not sure, with one of the stations. Dave LLR sounded very good. I hear that it's cool over there, and you say that it's been 1 month since that hurricane, and it's hard for me to believe. I'm still thinking about that stuff. Steve, you sound really good. KL, good sound there. And John, VVC, over in Greer. I know you mentioned that Mayer is probably listening to this net, so I'll say hello, Mayer. You know, you don't know me very well, but I met you at least once. So I saw you and briefly said hello over at the Shelby Ham Fest this past time. Things are going well, and I hope they go well for you there. Dope, WN4PFI, sounding good. Jack, WA7DIA, good signal. Buddy, ARK, saying it's fall of the year there, and it's beginning to be nice and pretty here with the leaves. I'd like to get out and take some pictures pretty soon. I like to save the pictures. I can't remember a time when I've ever gone by my picture collection and got out the leaves of fall to look at, but maybe someday I will. I don't really spend a lot of time taking pictures of leaves, but I like to do it. J-A-L Jimmy, sounding good. Al, KJ4YEV, and while you were talking, my receiver seemed to have some kind of distortion on it, and I was trying to tune it, get the signal in. I'm not sure what it was there. MEC, Charlie, you sound very good. Bruce, N4WD, good sound. And W4DCS in Winston-Salem, you're sounding good. You know, I was saying to Dave that I'm still thinking about the hurricane. I spent a lot of time with a small generator, just 900 watt gas generator by Honda, EU1000i. I kept our freezer and refrigerator going with that. A few hours at a time. A few hours, I would put both of them on the generator and then take it off for a few hours. And for 6 days, I was able to keep the food in the freezer doing well, and also in the refrigerator. And I've been thinking about these old Coleman stoves. I really like that. We actually cooked on that using the Coleman fuel, and I've been thinking that stuff's getting kind of rare. Seems like everybody's wanting to sell propane. And I recently even bought a Coleman stove that is made so that you can use unleaded gasoline. And I think most of those stoves can use unleaded, but they say they may get clogged up. But I think those stoves are becoming rare. And I actually bought one recently. I'm going to turn it over now. Let me see, where does it go now? To John, K1VVC. This is KG4IUQ.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mark. Steve, could you give me a quick break? Happy birthday, but how old are you?
76.
Wow, I was just 76 the end of September. So I'm only about a month older than you. Well, congratulations. My birthday was on the hurricane. That was not a great event, but my birthday was not a great event. The hurricane was a great event. And congratulations on that. Yeah, I forgot this is the Stone Mountain Hamfest this weekend. Cliff, I know I'll see you there, and I'll probably see a bunch of others. I know a lot of the guys from the group. Hopefully, Reed will make it there. I always enjoy seeing him. And hopefully the weather will be good. Maybe a little bit warmer today, but I've been there in all sorts of crazy weather over the years. From blazing heat to snow and sleet. I'm running a modern radio today. I'm using the Yaesu FTDX 5000 and using the SP 1500 linear. For whatever reason, I just decided to put a modern radio on AM for a change. But I feel a little out of place with everybody with their AS13s. So with that, let me turn it over to Doak. Doak, I wonder if you're coming down to the Hamfest. WN4PFI, K1VVC.
K1VVC, WN4PFI. Thanks, John. Well, we've not decided yet. My wife and I talked about coming down. We didn't go last year. I think we went year before last. I think the University of Georgia has those home football games, but not this year. the year before last when we did go, they had a home football game, and the traffic is hideous. Trying to just get down there to Lawrenceville, so I don't know. We may think about it now. I think they're playing University of Florida at Jacksonville, so I don't have to worry about that much traffic, even though it's still kind of crowded. So, as I've said before, I don't know what any of you guys look like, so if I do come, I will have on a name tag and a call tag there, so you can at least, some of you, if you see me, if you don't have one on, maybe I can perhaps meet some of you guys to start for the first time, I guess. I've been talking to you here for 2-3 years, but never seen you, except for a few pictures. Not much more here. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on down to Jack. And Dave, thanks for calling that. I'm going to listen to the end, but I'll make this my 73 round here. And happy birthday to you too, Steve. I'm looking at 76, not quite there. It's kind of sad that we are old. Didn't hear a lot of anybody that's young interested or wanting to get on here. It's kind of sad to think about. But I'll listen to the end, and I hope everybody has a good rest of the week, and maybe we'll see some of you on Saturday if we decide to come. So, Jack, go ahead and take it WA7DIA. This is WN4PFI, and I'll be clear. Good afternoon, fellas.
WN4PFI and the old friends, WA7DIA. Well, thank you, and hello to Mia. Hope you get back on the air soon. I'll try to make the Lawrenceville Ham Fest next week, but I'm just not sure if I can yet. It's been a few years since I've been to that one, so we'll see if I can. And I'm also in the 76 Club, 76 and a half. The headlights of number 77 are starting to go on the horizon. Anyway, I'll say 73 to everybody. I've got to get out of here and get on to making dinner, and I will hopefully try to be on the air next weekend. Try to get back on the air a lot more regularly than I have been in the past. I've been making the Saturday morning military radio nets at 5 a.m., but trying to get back into normal ham radio schedule around here. Anyway. Buddy, over to you. WB4ARK from WA7DIA.
WA7DIA, WB4ARK. Okay, Jack. Well, it's good to hear you on again. Didn't think it had been that long since you were last on, but you said 2019. Wow. It's a few years ago. We're getting much older as time goes by. So, anyway, Jimmy, I think most of the remarks were current as far as the microphone is concerned. You can use a carbon mic. And we'll go over that when I bring the unit down. I had a friend that he always used a carbon mic. He found a good one that worked well. It was a military mic, but it did sound fairly decent. But if you really want a good sound, you need a D104 amplified and adjust it to a certain deflection on your PA meter. We'll go over that. You'll need a plug. You need that what's called a Collins plug, or that it's actually 205.25 inches, 0.025 inches in diameter, a little bit under 1/4 of an inch, 3-pin PL 68 plug. I'm sure you are familiar with those. You may even have one. And so let's see what else we got here. Well, Mir, I'm glad to hear you're doing well with your double knee replacement. And John, I'm glad to hear you're recovering from your surgery. I hope everything continues to go well, and you get all your essentials done. Let's see. Yeah, double knee replacement is probably the most excruciating surgery, having both knees done at the same time. But my wife didn't choose to go that way. She went one at a time. But it's kind of like cataract surgery. They do one at a time. They don't want to mess up both eyes at the same time. So, yeah, anyhow, I guess that's about it for me. I'm going to say 73, and thanks, Dave, for calling the net today. And also, Jimmy, looking forward to handing this transmitter off to you. I think you're going to really enjoy it. And if do you have a manual for your transmitter? You're going to need a calibration chart to make any frequency changes. And let's see, you might also, I don't know if you'll be doing any service work on it, but you can get an operating manual which doesn't have the service information in it, but only has the operating information. So if you need a copy, let me know and I'll make some copies for you. Over to K4JAL, WB4ARK.
WB4ARK in the group, K4JAL. Boy, my new rig sounds good down there today, buddy. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I've captured about 3 different manuals. I am too fumble-fingered to do a lot of work on a radio like that, but I'd at least like to have the theory of operation and look at it from an intellectual, if you can call it that, look. So that's good, and I reckon this is week after next, not next week. The first Thursday in the month, right? Okay. But I've got manuals, and I've got lots of D104s, amplified and unamplified. Some of them with Collins plugs, so I'm in good shape that way. I got my lawnmower, my big one fixed, got everything put back together, and I got a push mower I got to take apart tomorrow and get it running. John and Mir seem to be making progress, and that's a good thing. And happy birthday, Steve. And that's about it for me, I guess. Let me give it over to KJ4YEV, Al, I believe. K4JAL.
K4JAL on the net, KJ4YEV. Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, I saw the picture of Mir, too, in the hospital there with his dog by his side. I thought that was a really cool picture. They won't let us do that here. I don't know how he was able to pull that off, but we're not allowed to bring animals into a hospital around here for some reason. But they're excellent companions, and I'm glad you were able to. And I wish you, if you're hearing me, I wish you a complete and speedy recovery. And also, happy birthday to Steve. I just had a birthday myself about a week ago. I turned 71. 70 was sort of a milestone. 71 was just another day, it seemed like. But you know what they say, every day above ground is a good day, so keep on plugging there. And with that, I'm going to send it on to John, KZ4B. So John, over to you, KJ4YEV, over.
Okay, KJ4YEV in the group, KZ4B. Fine business, Al. Good copy. I've noticed today the signals are nice and strong, but they're very rapid, brief signal dips, which is a good thing, because if it takes a long time, you can, you know, it's no longer Q5, but they're just quick, maybe 1 or 2 second signal dips. Shifting gears, wanted to wish Mir a speedy recovery if you happen to be listening, Mir, or if you're not. We're pulling for you, praying for you, and enjoyed the picture with the dog. I have to get on the stump. I think that dogs are the angels among us, and you don't need a shrink if you've got a good dog, because a dog will help you keep your sanity. And these days, it's a handy thing to have. So, enough said on that. Glad everybody agrees on the value of the D104 driving or modulating the ART13. It really works good. And if you want a carbon mic, a lot of the late model telephone mic elements, if you've got an old antique mic that's big, you can put a late model telephone element in it. It probably takes up too much real estate to do it like the phone company did, but you can solder to the button in the middle and the ring, and they sound remarkably good. I don't know why the old World War II military mics, when I was a teenager, I worked for a guy that had a surplus company in Charlotte, Aviation Surplus, and I would rebuild his push-button aircraft mics. Nobody wanted the throat mics. They really sound crappy, but they really didn't sound that good. But the telephone elements really, if you realize when you talk to people on the phone, they didn't sound bad, and those were carbon mic elements. So that's one way to cheat and get one. And I wanted to say how lucky all these young hams are, these young 76-year-old guys. I'm 78, and in this coming March I will be 79, so I guess I'm the VOF, the very old fart, and the shoe definitely fits. Shifting gears again, excavating my broadcast transmitter has been quite a strain given my current physical condition, but I was really upset that I had to schedule this work during a period where every day was nice and warm, because there's not going to be too many more of those. And it's a lot cheaper to not have to heat the garage. It's not heated from the central unit, and so I have to either go for propane or insanely expensive electricity. I have the equipment, I just don't like to pay the bill. And Steve, I have my teeth. You're listening. I'm going to sound like this from here on out. I just can't use them yet in that my gums are too tender to really chow down on anything that requires mastication, official mastication. I can't wait to start eating solids again, but they require a lot of pressure. So on that note, I'm going to pass it on over to Charlie. I'm going to say 73s and hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for calling the net, Dave. W4MEC in the group, KZ, 4B clear, but listen.
Okay, John, KZ4B in the group W4MEC. Real good. Round. Let's see. About to only say hello to Mir there. If you're listening, I hope you read my email about the comment from the scheduler. We have a really good family friend that sets up all the surgeries at a surgery center in Asheville. She's been privy to hundreds, if not thousands, of joint replacements, and she said the number one issue with folks that get the double replacement at the same time is they begin to favor one knee. And she guarantees if you favor one knee, the one that you're not favoring will be fine, but the one that you are favoring, you're going to need another joint within 4 years. So she said, put your weight on both knees and keep going there. Don't let up on one side over the other, or you pay the price down the road. So, and she ought to know. She's seen enough of it. So, anyway, let's see what else we got here. Not a whole lot. It's kind of a dreary day. We've had that beautiful weather for a month after the hurricane. Not a cloud in the sky, just beautiful weather, and now it kind of looks like it's getting ready to snow, so I'm not ready for that. But at least at 54 degrees, it's probably not. But it's just got that feeling out there when you go outside, the clouds just seem to be setting on your head, you know. So, anyway. Okay, so we'll look for you fellas on Tuesday morning, and y'all have a good rest of the evening here. Thanks for running the net, Dave. Let's see, N4WD, W4MEC.
W4MEC, N4WD. You keep hearing crashes somewhere. Must be lightning somewhere way off in the distance. Everyone's still sounding good. Cliff, those are the solid ceramics. Don't know if I'll be making Lawrenceville or not, but I'll get with you in the future. There's no rush on it. I just don't want to put it on the air with those sockets like that. Testing it and all for short periods of time, it did good. I'm trying to see what notes I got here. Jack down there in Warner Robins sounding good. Worked down there on the base for about a month, a long time ago, and portions of the building I can't talk about. But it was a nice place to visit, even though it was 120 over there. And I think that's all I got. I was going to say 73s too. The wife had me light the grill as we were going around. So it won't be long before the time I'll listen. But I'll say 73s. Everybody have a blessed week coming up. The next weekend will be change time. Oh, 76. Everybody's in September. We all must be winter babies. Mine was last month too, 76. So, good Lord willing, we'll keep on trucking and talking to each other. Doug, to you, W4WD.
And 4WD. W4DCS. All right, Bruce. Yeah, making me feel young. 1952 for me. So, yeah, I guess I'm one of the young whippers in the group, which is unusual. So anyways, yeah, buddy, Jimmy's rig sounds good, man. I know he's going to be excited to get it. And I also run a amplified D104 in mine. And happy birthday, Steve. Yeah, the newest thing I got going in the shack is SDR console. I guess I hadn't been paying attention because I didn't even know anything about that program. And I downloaded it yesterday, and there's a little bit of learning curve, but yeah, it's kind of neat. I missed the IF filter I had in SDR Sharp, but all in all, it's great. I appreciate the tip there, Steve. Yeah, what else here? Well, John, I'm glad to hear you're doing better, and hope you get a full recovery there on the surgery. And with that, I'll say 73. Enjoyed listening and participating tonight. Hope you guys all have a good evening and a good week ahead. And we'll turn it back to Dave, WA4LLR, W4DCS.
All righty. W4DCS, WA4LLR. Okay, yeah, I too run an amplified D104 on the ART-13. In fact, just about everybody that I know running a ART is running the amplified D104, and they all sound good. Let's see here. Charlie, good advice on the rehab for me or anyone with a double replacement. And Bruce, you were talking about the static crashes. Yeah, I was looking on my radar, and there's a pretty good thunderstorm off the coast of South Carolina. So I think that's where we're getting it from. That's the only place I could find any lightning activity. Happy birthday to you, Al. I believe you said yours was last week. And happy birthday to John, whose birthday came in with the hurricane. And Jimmy, you're right on the date of the luncheon. It's a week from this coming Thursday. This coming Thursday is the last day of October. So we missed it by one day. So 1 week from this coming Thursday. Let's see. And Jimmy, I was going to offer you a Collins plug if you didn't have one. I've got some extra around here. Well, fellas, it's about 7 o'clock, and I'm hearing the sidebanders starting up. So a good portion of us have already signed. So I'll say 73 to everyone. Hope you have a great finish to the weekend. Enjoyed it. Good check-ins tonight and just great signals. So 7-3, God bless, and we'll look for you on Tuesday morning, Lord willing. This is WA4LLR, Dave in Burnsville.